Good afternoon and welcome to our inaugural Safety Zone Cabin Fever podcast. I'm your host, Ed Andy, and on the mixing deck we've got producer Craig.
Hi, producer Craig.
They call him the postman because he always delivers. It's Postman Mike.
Ew, over there.
Making a podcast debut, we're assuming. It's Manager Nan.
Hello, everybody.
And every super team needs a sidekick. Captain America had Bucky Barnes. We've got Bargady's answer to Bucky Barnes. It's Gordon.
Hello.
Hey, so that's everyone. We are minus Jack. Technical problems have forbidden him from being here today, but that is life. So how is everybody? How are the spirits?
Spirits are good.
Spirits are good?
Not doing too bad.
Fine and dandy. So what the purpose
I'm bored, but we're coping.
Well, that here lies what we're going to try and sort out.
Yeah.
The purpose of this podcast is because we've got a vertical slice. How old are you again, Gordon? You're what, 17?
Yeah, I'm 17.
And then we've got Craig, who's what, 22?
23 tomorrow.
22?
Really?
Oh, right.
Long.
Okay. What was that, sorry? Oh, Michael?
Oh, sorry, you keep cutting off there. I just said happy birthday to Craig.
Yeah,
Yes.
happy birthday. That kind of snuck
Thanks.
up. And then how old are you, Michael? Are you 24, 25?
26, mate.
26? Oh, right, my apologies. And then me all the way up to 39, and Nan, who's 42. So we've got quite a good slice of people, but we can use it as to our strength because we can everything we've got relative to people of our age. So what I thought we could just do is share just go around the room and share how we're spending our days and any top tips for warding off boredom and then keeping off the cabin fever. Obviously, it would have been nice if Jack was here for many reasons. Jack gives another dimension, but also his name is the same name as the lead guy in The Shining, Jack Torrance. So obviously, all work and no play made Jack a dull boy, if you know how that movie ended. So let's start with Gordon, because you're the youngest of the troop. Hello, Gordon.
Hello.
So tell us about a 17-year-old in the coronavirus lockdown. How are you spending your days?
I'm just mostly just playing video games.
Okay.
Yeah.
And would you be doing that anyway?
Yeah.
So obviously, with the community of people you speak to, what's the general gist? How are people your age? Are you content just to be sat down playing video games for? 10,
Yeah, a
11
lot of
hours?
the time we play them together. So like Minecraft's a big one that we've been doing. So we'd all get on the one server and we all just play Minecraft together.
And do you work on any projects to build anything up?
I'm rubbish at building, so not me, but other people are doing that.
Okay, so it's still keeping quite social, but in a digital space.
Yeah.
Do you plan is there someone planning it? They're getting the old grid paper out and doing it?
Yeah, I think somebody rented out a server from Microsoft. I think it's called Minecraft Realms. So somebody in our group rented one of them out, and we've been using that.
That sounds pretty advanced. Anything else you've been spending time? Obviously, you've been on a few podcasts as well.
Yeah, I've been doing stuff for this as well. So showing up and doing stuff like the D&D podcast and
You're
the stream
hesitating-
one as
you're
well with the
hesitating to say-
tentacle.
You're hesitating to
yeah.
say Marvelous Mondays there, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh well. So keeping busy in a digital realm. So we go over to the second youngest, which will be someone who's 22, 23 in a few hours' time. That's Craig. Talk us about how your day currently is shaped and what you're doing to ward off cabin fever.
Not much different than usual. My sleep schedules went straight out the window. That's completely messed up, other than when I'm waking up to do the streams and that. Every other day I've been waking up at like 4, unintentionally for the
4?
first time ever. Aye.
Like in the afternoon, as in
Yeah.
1600 hours.
Yeah.
Good golly, Miss Molly.
Turning into a vampire.
Yeah.
I know. Reminds me of being back in high school. but nah, I've been doing a couple of things. I've just been playing games, stuff like that. I started learning Japanese. Got that.
Ooh,
Oh, and
impressive.
obviously you're on how many podcasts? Well, this will be the third one, the third series one.
Yeah. Well, I run the D&D one,
The
which I run that, but I also been playing D&D with my mates. Which those last a lot longer than our podcasts.
yes, I'm
Yeah,
sure they do.
I'm
And they're
pretty
probably a
sure
bit more
that
technical.
the last D&D game I played with my mates lasted 8 hours.
Wow.
Then what else to do? All right, helping you with the Day of the Tentacle game.
Yeah, and so there's something pretty much apart from Wednesday, because obviously D&D's Friday, Telltale Things on Thursday, Wednesday skip guitar lessons on a Tuesday, and then the thing we did today, Marvelous Monday. So pretty much 4 days a week.
Yep. Yeah, the
Yeah,
guitar
bit
lessons
busy.
that have yet to work.
Yeah, but these are still early days. Early days. Okay, pulling up offering a different dimension to this is going to be Michael, because you guys, do you want to tell the screen what you're currently up to? How your days are spent?
Yeah, well, I'm still at work, obviously being a postman, so I'm out mostly during the day. When I get back home, I don't have any Wi-Fi because I recently just moved into a new flat, so no Wi-Fi and no TV. So what I've been doing, I'm doing my Nat 5 maths at the moment. So if anybody out there is doing maths, I could recommend a website called Maths 180. Get great videos and tutorials and exam papers that you can go over. There's an app also, not for maths, but for food, for cooking. There's a great app called Tasty. A lot of easy to follow recipes and videos are on there.
What's it called, Michael?
It's called Tasty, Tasty.
Here.
I could recommend that. I've used that a few times. I also got a few podcasts I could punt. One is for films. If you're a film buff, there's one called Films to be Buried With. Highly recommended. There's an interview-based one, Conan O'Brien, an American chat show host.
He's quite
That's
funny.
a really good one. For football, you've got the Peter Crouch podcast and the Open Goal podcast. Recommend that.
Oh, Michael, can I just stop you there a second?
Yeah.
Do you know Conan? You know the Simpsons episode with the monorail? That's like the best episode. Conan O'Brien wrote that.
He was for 3 seasons. I think he was one of the main writers in the Simpsons.
Like when Simpsons was his absolute best. Yeah.
Exactly. He's brilliant.
Yeah, he's a funny guy. Sorry,
Peter Crouch. Amazing.
Right.
Brilliant.
And Conan, you were saying Peter Crouch?
Peter Crouch podcast. Peter Crouch is actually a very funny guy. I didn't realise. It's him and 2 of his mates. I think one's a Radio 1 DJ. I can't remember his name, but that's for mostly English football. But for Scottish football, you've got Open Goal podcast. It's Cy Ferry that used to play with Celtic, Paul Lane that used to play for Motherwell, and Kevin Kyle who used to play with Rangers and Heart. And it's can be interview based, and then there's other ones that are just kind of catching up on the football that happened that week.
Ooh, right.
Other than that, I've just been watching old Grey Whistle Test videos.
Oh, right. Nice. What year? Kind of mid-70s?
72. Well, I've got the box set, so all throughout the 70s, really. I've just been watching.
Bob.
Eh?
The guy who, what's his name?
Yeah.
Bob
he does the country show now, doesn't he? I think on Radio 2. Yeah, he's it's like Radio 2 about 8, 9. I've caught it a couple times driving home. He still works for the radio, but
nice. I'll need to check it out.
Okie dokie. On to me. I've been incredibly boring. I've tried to keep my things almost as close to a working schedule as possible. A, to keep myself sane and keep a shape to my day, but also because I'm full-time employed. So I'm up on my bike about 8 o'clock every morning, start making videos, making content, planning, and trying to do a cooking video once a week with my girlfriend. She doesn't want to appear on camera, which is quite difficult because I'm not very good at baking, and she'll be trying to give me instructions off camera how to bake without her swear words appearing on camera or on mic. But just trying to keep as busy as I can and keep myself safe.
I've tried
really.
giving you instructions so I can understand their pain.
If I don't know what I'm doing, I've carved out a very good niche of knowing what I do and knowing what I know. But really, just I make at least 2 videos a day with a view that them over the potentially 3-month period they'll all come out in the pattern that they're being released. But just trying to just keep sort of busy and watching the Marvel movie world. Me and Craig, I would say me, Craig and Guns, but he's dinging us. Part of the Marvelous Monday podcast is we've drawn the Marvel movies into like a World Cup, and we draw 2 of the films against each other once a week, and we decide which one's better, with a view to them eventually finding a winner that can take on the last movie, because there's 23 movies, you see. Wouldn't really work if there was an uneven number. So we're going to find out what the best Marvel movie is and pay it up against the movie which is the most recent one, well, the biggest one. So I'm back on Disney Plus. Well, I've subscribed to that Disney Plus. Obviously put the news on at 5 when you get a coronavirus update, but really keeping a shape to my day. I could quite easily get lost in a fever dream and wake up at 4, go to bed at 4 o'clock in the morning. Craig's doing, but I'm just trying to keep it as normal as possible. Yeah, I did promise myself I was going to wait till week 4 or 5 when I think the real ball's going to kick in to do my front garden, but I caved in and did it Sunday. So, and just sort of planning things and just think, right, could I do this X, for example? Could I do the kilt walk in my back garden? What, and then work out how could it be done? Could it be live streamed? How many steps would it take? How long would it take? What, how the distance of the average stride. So that keeps you busy, kind of thinking about, and I have an idea and working out, is it actually possible, or am I just going a little bit nuts? So I'm aiming for that. The last Sunday of April, I'll be at 10 o'clock in my tights, in my leggings, and a kilt, and walking 16,000 lengths of my garden. Yeah.
Brilliant. I think people underestimate the amount of time you have to spend planning, and it is important to do that. Yeah.
If you just put a camera in front of yourself, if every video I've done, there's about at least 5 takes. The one I was making today, making Lego zip lines, I had to stop and just have something to eat, and then go about it. Even though the video is the amount of takes, I tied a piece of string to a door handle on the landing, and held a piece of string higher and showed different ways of making zip lines so you could engineer them, and they were falling apart mid-flight. And they were going down to I've got like 3 flights of stairs, so I had to go all the way down to the bottom, which is kind of annoying. I'm like, just work once. So there is a lot of planning and the editing as well, and getting the shots, and it's a bit of a weird one, but it keeps you busy. So we'll move over to somebody else who's making a podcast debut. So
no, I'm not. I'm not making any podcasts for putting out there though. But my work's more behind the scenes. But I have actually been really busy with admin and reporting and liaising with the council, who are a lot of them are working from home, but they're still in touch and they want information. And people like STV Children's Appeal, Cash for Kids, all these people are busy. I'm also taking phone calls from people who are stuck in isolation and need food brought to them. And we have 4 or 5 volunteers in the village who I just phone and they pick them up and deliver them. And we're doing this in partnership with the Lanarkshire Community Food and Health people down the road, and they've been absolutely brilliant. There's not been a huge take-up in that, but I kind of expected there wouldn't be, because the nature of Bargeddie is that people do know one another and they do look out for one another. However, on that, Nikki Richardson, one of the people on the village Facebook page, set up a funding page for people to donate money to pay for this food. And she has raised over £500 now.
Wow.
So it means,
Awesome.
I know, fantastic. It's not in yet because it takes 7 days to be downloaded and sent to us, but that will pay for this food. So it means we're not having to transfer money. We're not putting anybody at risk. The drivers just leave it on the doorstep, ring the bell and go away. So that's working out quite well. And we've had some sob stories from that, you know, a lady who's blind and can't speak and her husband's tied up looking after her. And then, Andy, you had a call from the guy who was just out of hospital and had nothing in the house but crisps. You know, so there are people who really do need help. So we're working with them as well. But it really is thanks to the community food and health people and the volunteer drivers. I have been, apart from all my admin and boring stuff online, I've been keeping myself busy with them. Unfortunately, I've got the attention span of a gnat sometimes, and I've started to knit a teddy bear. And I've now got the body and a leg done, and I've lost interest, but I will finish it. And I've decided I would rather sew one. So I've got a sewing pattern, and I'm going to make one of these memory bears. I've also got, I am not a good cook, but occasionally I get into it. So I've made a banana loaf, and I made my very first loaf of bread recently, which turned out amazingly well. I know, I was really chuffed with myself. That's why I'm interested in Michael's website, Pasty. So I'll be going and having a look at that. And I think that's really what I've been unable to do is get Royal Mail to redirect the mail from the safety zone to my home address. So right. Royal Mail seem to be the one organisation in all this pandemic crisis who are not bending any rules. So I just won't be able to do it, unfortunately. But you can have a grump to your colleagues for me if you like. They want me to go into a post office, collect a form, fill it in, and then take it back to a post office, or I can post it, but I need to send certain items of identification, which obviously I don't have because I'm not in the safety zone. So it's things to prove that I'm able to act for the safety zone. I can't do that. They won't let me do it online. I've explained the isolation thing. Matters not a whit. So I'm a wee bit worried about that I'm not able to get the mail redirected, but we just have to live with it for now. And I think that's it. Yes, that's me. I am in isolation, in case anybody didn't know, and I'm not allowed out at all because I'm in the what is it they're calling it now? It's not shielded group. So I've got a niece and a nephew up the roads from me who stop by on their way and have a wee blether through the window and bring me food and things. So it's all quite funny and amusing.
Oh, right. Are they using a pulley system, or they just put it through?
No, just putting it in through the window. And I've got a friends and family thing on Skype, so I'm quite well connected. I'm not left on my own completely, so it's all right.
It is funny that this, obviously, trying to take the positives out of the negative. I think when things do go back to normal, obviously one of the long-term plans was to have, the government was to reduce CO2 and footprint and have people work from home, use a car less. I think there's going to be a lot of people, accountants. I live next to an IT person, and she's like, I've proven to my bosses that I can do this from home now. So that's one less car on the road. So I think there's going to be some positives. I think there'll be
more of that. Yeah, I think there's some things will never go back to normal. No, I'm quite looking forward to getting back into the safety zone though and be among people again.
Yeah, I miss the crowds and that kind of stuff. It's but let's not end on a downer. Let's stay nice and positive because it does look like we're a few weeks away from normality returning. So I think everyone will keep safe, and we'll try this again next week, and maybe try new things. Maybe I've challenged my dad to grow a beard. He hates beards, and we're never going to get this opportunity ever again. So whether or not it's taking up needlecraft for someone who may, or not doing that, or doing something daft like can learn a dance, or something. We've got an opportunity where the whole country is static and behind closed doors. Why not give something different a try? So how about when we try this again next week, everyone has tried something new?
Yeah. I love how you're roping in all your family. I think that's brilliant. That wee Oscar is a wee star, isn't he?
Yeah,
He's
been
brilliant.
effort. And you wouldn't think the big guy next to him was my brother. We're not
You
alike.
wouldn't.
I think the words need to be had with a milkman.
But they've both been brilliant. It's been really good.
Yeah, they offered up, and it's just that's the thing. People are stuck at home, and they've all got something to come on. So we'll end everything there. So stay safe and wash your hands, safety zoners.
Everybody else do that too. Yeah.
Yeah. Does anyone else want to sign off?
Well, thank you for letting me join. I've enjoyed the wee chat, and I'll talk to you again next week.
Great stuff. And this has been the Cabin Fever podcast. Stay safe and keep them hands clean.
Yep.
Later.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah.